special, better, greater, or otherwise different from what is usual. Good morrow, and how do you fare? Welcome back, ye merry gentlefolk, to the first placeholder special. Unfortunately, not the Halloween one. No, instead a far more horrifying holiday. That is, if you fear dysfunctional family gatherings. Thanksgiving, or thanks-taking in this economy, a time to come together and exercise Americans' fourth favorite deadly sin. A time to enjoy a large feast with family and or friends if you're into that. But if there's one thing Thanksgiving isn't, it's good material to be adapted into consumable media.
There's no such thing as an evil turkey. Oh wait, I lied.
Might have something to do with the smallpox,
witch trials,
and colonization and all that. Some say too soon. I say it's far too late for all of us. What was I talking about? Oh, right, Thanksgiving. Today I figured the best way to get stuffed into this holiday spirit would be to sit down and watch a film in the spirit of the holidays. And because I missed Halloween, why not watch a horror movie? Horror only in categorical terms. It's a bit of a stretch to call it that, but you know that's what the video's here for. Yippee! Today we will be watching or reviewing or suffering at the hands of Roadkill, a made-for-television movie released in 2011 on the Sci-Fi Channel. Does anyone still remember the Sci-Fi Channel? I know I don't. I first stumbled upon this movie in middle school, I think. Could have been elementary. The only thing that proves this movie exists at all in my world is the fact I managed to remember the name. Directed by Joannis Roberts, the director of at least one decent movie, VHS 99, along with Resident Evil, Welcome to Raccoon City, and 47 Meters Down? Huh. I guess he just needed to find his stride. But today, we get to see his first work. I'd say you're in for a treat, but really, it's more of a feast. Okay, alright. I wrote all of this stuff before watching the movie, and oh boy, was that a doozy. It genuinely made the hair fall off the top of my head. I watched this movie with my mom both times. The first time around, my brain was not nearly as formed as it is now, and same for my mom, it would seem. Because the first time we saw this film, we both loved it deeply. I think it was in the front of our minds for years. But after letting it fade into the obscure corners of our brains, then revisiting it all these years later, it was accurately described as rotten and if food poisoning were a movie. It was so rough, my father got a headache from the other room. This is going to be a long one, folks, for me and my mental state and the State of the Union. If you slogged through my last couple videos, you know how I'd like to review a piece of media.
Good news, everyone!
Take everything I said in those last couple videos and throw them away. Put them in the trash. Let's talk about the plot. Now, real quick, I wasn't able to find a version of this movie in English, at least not one that I could record. So, you know, there's not going to be any audio from the movie unless you understand this language.
यहाँ से चली जाओ, जाओ.
And if you do, please comment it down below. Summary time, baby. Here we go. This movie opens in Ireland, near Dublin, presumably, with a cop hiding from a mysterious monster in a shack in the middle of the woods. Now keep that fact in mind. No time to think about that, though. We need to meet the most insufferable characters ever to step foot in Ireland next to the Sunny cast. I don't really remember their names, so here you go. We have first, face, jacket, hat, heels, boobs, and scratch. The gaggle of them go out on a road trip through Ireland, and boy is it a trip. Oh yeah, spoilers by the way, I guess. They're not gonna see this shit anyway. Okay, so after being young, hip, and cool, they quickly find out that Ireland is tapped for petrol. So they roll up on and break and enter into the homes of inbred NRA Cliffbillies. This freak here sells this dumbass amulet to these asshole kids and pulls a switcheroo. For some mysterious reason, he doesn't want to sell this to Boobs. When they find out about this ripoff, Hat steals his jewel and they make a break for it. And as an act of American superiority, they hit an old lady with skin cancer. Unfortunately for a group of hit and runners, this woman turns out to be a warlock and puts a curse on them. She talks some shit and it's so effective they fuck off all the way to the evil forest. Naturally, they start talking shit to each other. That's when we learn about the Rock. Jacket goes into it, but it's really just a big turkey. Are you getting the idea yet? Suddenly, something starts to scratch at the top of the RV. First calls everyone in the RV, especially Hat, a pussy, and goes out to investigate. Guess why I named her first, you guys? They drive away while still being pursued by the jive turkey. The power of the bird is so powerful, it manages to pop a back tire from flying into the front of the RV. Good luck explaining this one to the insurance people. As we quickly find out, Face and Scratch are the only ones who know how to change a tire. And because these are the worst friends to ever be friends together, they rock, paper, scissors over who they're going to send out there to die. Take a guess on why we named him Face.
So no head?
Oh god, okay. I gotta remember what happened next. This movie took up 3 hours accumulatively of my lifetime, and I don't want to go back to rewatch it. Alright. So they keep driving while that damn bird pesters them. As they are previously established to do, they break and enter into a different home down the road. They then have the gall to act as though this family enjoying their meal of what I can only assume is a full Thanksgiving feast, happy Thanksgiving everyone, is somehow a bunch of untrustworthy strangers. This Irish woman from New Jersey turns out to be the sister, wife, spawn, I don't know, of the Cliff Billy that ripped them off earlier. As a result of wandering into the enemy camp, they take Keel's Hat, Jacket, and Scratch to get crucified, and Boobs gets to show the Jersey lady the jewel. After some bullshit happens, Boobs goes to save the lot of them. This is where we find out the jewel makes the murder bird a little less crazy. Too much zinc really isn't good for him, I guess. After the movie realizes that nobody died in this scene, Keels gets shot with a cattleman's repeater. Her ass wasn't making it down the hill anyway. They fuck around in the woods for a while Scratch gets shot, and Hat makes a massive deal over it. Oh my god, you guys, it's not even that bad. Don't you two have somewhere to be right now? They escape back to the RV, and to gain sympathy points, Scratch tries to act like his arm is about to fall off. They then do the only sensible thing in this situation and start day drinking. Hard. Except for Hat, of course, because no matter how dumb the person or how bad the situation, you should never drink and drive. After discovering that Scratch is a little bitch, they toss him out and drive away. Scratch then calls the cops on them, causing them to turn around to go and get him. This is when Scratch's injuries cause him to explode into a red mist. The three hide in the shack from the start of the movie. Notice this hole and also the lack of forest around it. When finally the police show up. Now we have a bird and a pig in this movie, am I right, you guys? This is because we quickly find out that even Irish cops are swine as he prepares the last three to be eaten by the Seahawk. After a very cinematic fight scene and genuine karate, the gang gets a shotgun. Yippee! But this world is give and take. Say bye-bye, Jacket. After being so enraged by this fact, Hat lashes out on the local law enforcement, leaving him as roadkill. Do you get it, guys? He died on the road. He's roadkill. Oh god, this is taking years off my life. I don't want to do this anymore. Okay. After the death of their entire friend group, the remaining two, that being Boobs and Hat, decide to seriously consider what they plan on telling the police as to the disappearance of their entire friend group. But on the bright side, they do find them. And because this movie is out to get every single one of us, and because we're short on time, Boobs decides that she's crazy now and turns the shotgun that they acquired in the last scene, call that Chekhov's gun, turns it on Hat, who promptly walks away, once again, very smart decision, while Boobs here smears blood all over her face because, you know, she's lost her marbles, I guess. But don't worry, the bird comes and gives her a big old hug to make her feel better. And just like that, now we're left with nobody but Hat. We're about to find out why we call him Hat. After he makes a call to his father comparable but not equal to the ones made on the planes that one awful day, he stops to get gas, and you will not believe where he decides to start filling up. Here at the climax, the Cliff Billy shows up and he confronts Hat about the death of his entire friend and family unit, which is fair. I'm completely on this man's side. If somebody broke in, stole my jewelry, and then harassed my wife and kids, I'd be pretty mad too. That being said, the big bird does just show up and fly through the windshield of my man's RV that I think they're renting. And to take care of this issue, Hat does the old wasp trick and tosses gasoline all over him. Then this movie literally ends with a big, cool explosion that he doesn't look back on, that he's walking away from. It's badass. Which, you know, normally looks cool for some people, but Hat here, he just kind of looks like a, well, anyway. And since I sat through this whole movie like a good little placeholder, his stupid ass gets pecked to death by the bird. Literally the best ending ever, because I deserve something out of all of this. And now we've made it to this part of the video, where I dive deep and hard into the intellectual analysis over the complexities of this movie. Or I can just go on a pointless yet very entertaining baby rage over this silly movie that has taken up more space in my mind than the 2008 election ever did. Take a guess which I'm going to do. One of the worst things a movie can do is have a fun premise that gets executed horribly. The idea of a group of tourists getting cursed by a road witch to be hunted down by a giant bird sounds like a banger. It's simple but compelling. Unfortunately, it was made for the Sci-Fi Channel to be viewed by me 2 times ever. Something really cool about this movie is how close we get to the characters. Not emotionally, to be clear. No, I mean that if they had invested into a 4K camera, we'd be forced to look at every wrinkle ever accumulated on each of these characters. Seriously, can we back up just a bit, please? I know the stench of each of these characters, and god damn it, these people, not a single one of them smell good, I tell you that for free. And every character is so uniquely stupid, man. I'm glad they all get cooked, dog. I'm on the bird side, I tell you what. They have a bad habit of letting their friends die in very avoidable ways. They certainly weren't very thankful for one another, I'll tell you what. Talk about a pilgrimage, man. What else am I supposed to say here? My summer was probably better than the show itself. It's like having a muse for a game of mini golf. But you know what? I'm just thankful it's all over. Well, not for me yet. I still need to edit the video. And I guess record the video, but I'm doing that right now. Which means this is going to sit with me for another couple weeks. Oh, oy vey. I feel like there's a lesson in all of this. The director was English, and the pilgrims did leave England to escape persecution. So consider these closing moments as my Mayflower. God is good. This movie was bad. I'm thankful for all of you and the time we've so far had. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Don't kill dirty old people, I guess. I'd be so thankful if you liked or subscribed, but I guess if you've already subscribed, comment. Whatever. Mazel tov. Good morrow. Oh, good morrow. And how do you do? Or how do you fuck? Oh, I see how I'm supposed to read that one. Hat steals his jewel, and his jewel, not his jewel. All right. After the death of their entire friend group, whoa, who the fuck wrote this, man?